He changed the name to drop down.
Hello, good evening. Welcome to another edition of Proper Football Live Show, our weekly show. Kicks off at 7:30 every week. So I hope you've had a great week. It's been a busy week of football. Had loads on last weekend, ups and downs. Some European games as well this week, and a couple of, three massive games tonight as well, which we're going to talk about on the show. But talking about the show, let's bring on the guests. We've got the normal lineup and an extra special guest today, Dave Cas from QPR. But anyway, let's bring on Nigel, Simon, and Dave. Are you all there?
Hi guys, you all right?
Oh, I've gone. How you doing, boys? How you doing, Nigel? You had a good.
Like Dave disappeared. Oh, hang on, you're coming back, I think.
You was up in Blackpool the weekend, was you, Nigel?
Yeah, I was doing the Young Farmers Convention, which is held up there every year, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and it was absolutely mental. And on top of that, Derby County brought about 4,000 fans with them, and they were having their relegation party.
Right.
It's been a busy one for me, so I'll be glad to get back home. Really.
So you was DJing up there, was you, Nigel?
Yeah, I was doing. I've done 2 6-hour sets on a Friday and a Saturday between 3 and 9, and I've done a 6-hour set from 10 o'clock till 4 on Sunday.
Bloody hell!
Yeah.
Bet you shattered. Hello, Dave. Can you hear us, mate? I think Dave's got a bit of a lag there. He's out in Ireland, didn't he, Dave? We'll come back to Dave. Hello, Si. You had a brilliant weekend, mate, haven't you?
Oh, yeah, amazing Saturday anyway, yeah.
So
Sunday didn't feel too good.
Up to Rochdale, weren't you, to see the Gasheads?
Bristol Rovers against Rochdale, yeah. Massive must-win game for us, yeah. 3-1 down with 90 minutes on the clock, 1-4-3.
Yeah, brilliant comeback. Well, we'll talk about that. We're going to cover the League Two and the playoff situation and the fight for the third automatic place. Let's try again with Dave. Dave, can you hear us? Call in Ireland. No. He's not there. We'll try again with Dave. Right, so did you boys watch the Champions League games the last couple of nights?
Yeah, definitely. Good football, yeah.
Yeah, Liverpool were 2-0 down at half time, and they looked like they was
dead and buried.
Dead and buried, yeah. But obviously the class came through in the end. But I think last night's game, we were just talking about before, Nigel, weren't we? That how the hell did City lose that?
Oh, I don't know. Do you know what? The game should have been all over in the first leg, really. Incredible game, but God, you couldn't have voted on one, could you?
No.
Pep must be pulling his hair out when he left.
Yeah. But I just can't believe. I don't know. I just think Real Madrid was so lucky against Chelsea. They were sort of outplayed, weren't they? And who else did they have in another game? It was again, and they got some quality. But I think a lot of it changed when Walker went off with that pacey winger they had, didn't it? He kept. He was causing lots of problems, and then they bought Rodrigo, and he got the 2 late goals. But yeah, I couldn't believe what I was watching when they.
I think it's basically when you look at it, it's City have had loads more chances than Real Madrid over the 2 legs. But Real Madrid have put the chances away, really, isn't it? That's been the difference.
What matters, isn't it, really?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Grealish had a couple of good chances, didn't he, as well, right at the end when he came on? But,
yeah.
But it just looks like Real Madrid's name's on the cup, doesn't it? Like Chelsea, a few years ago when they won in Germany under Matteo, they had a lot of things going for them, didn't they? So
you got Liverpool with, they've got a good squad. I mean, he's got the ammunition to bring on like he did at half time with the lad they bought from Colombia, is it? Diaz.
Yeah.
I mean, he changed the game apparently. So you look at the squad that Liverpool got and players that they've got to bring on.
Yeah.
I still think they'll beat Real Madrid.
Yeah, I do. I don't know. A lot of people don't want other English teams to do well in Europe, do they? I like to see all English teams do well, and because a lot of young English players in the sides, isn't there, as well?
I mean, I would have been a City fan if it was a Liverpool City final. But,
oh yeah, definitely. Yeah,
but I'd be wanting. Yeah, I mean, I'll be wanting Liverpool to win against Real Madrid.
Yeah.
Gary's popped on. Gary's down in Cornwall this weekend, so he's sampling the cider down there. Hello, Gary. He said Man City are anti-Europe. They are, aren't they? They're fans.
He's eating all the pies down in Cornwall, isn't he?
And the pasties.
Right, so if you could, I've heard he's been surfing, apparently.
Has he?
Yeah.
Sofa surfing. Right, so a few good evenings out to Ben Higgins, out to Nicky Lewis, out to Joe Paul Brown, up the Gas. So let's talking about the Gas, and this brings us on to League Two. I don't know if you've got the caption, sorry.
Yeah.
For the league table and the remaining games. It's the last day of the season, isn't it?
Yeah, this Saturday, yeah.
And it's a big shootout for third place between. I mean, how far does that go? Who can make it? Even down to Swindon could get third, can't they?
Yeah. Yeah.
So Barrow, Northampton. You need Northampton to lose, don't you? Or do you have to bet their result?
No, Northampton can lose or draw because we got equal points with them, haven't we?
Yeah. So you need
as long as we win.
Yeah. Barrow down the bottom, they got nothing to play for, but they're not a bad side, are they?
Well, they beat Forest Green at home 4-0 a few weeks back.
All right. So, hand on your heart, do you reckon you'll do it, Si?
Yeah. Difficult, isn't it? You've got to stick with your club, haven't you? But it's going to be tough. Do you know what I mean? The good thing is if Northampton win by one goal, so 1-0, and we score 6, you know.
Yeah.
You know, it's possible. I mean, if you look at, that Barton's willing to do what he can to get that win. I mean, at Rochdale on Saturday, we had one defender left on the pitch because he knew we needed to win. So, if news comes through that Northampton are winning 1-0 and we're 2-0 up or 3-0 up,
shit or bust, isn't it?
That's what it'll do because it'll make no difference. Playoff place is already guaranteed for us anyway, isn't it? So, which, considering we were like 16th, 17th in December, it's a big feat in itself, isn't it? So
it's unbelievable, and all the stuff he's had going off the field and all, wasn't he, Barton?
Well, he's had 2 court cases. Yeah, one's been dropped. He's got another one it's been put off now till June.
Yeah. For
apparently beating his missus up, but his missus won't make a statement and all the rest of it. Who knows what's going to happen there? But I mean, I hope whatever happens, whether it's playoffs, whether we lose playoffs, whether we got a ball automatic, I want to see him in place beginning of next season. Yeah. Football we're playing is like nothing I haven't seen for years. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Now, I've watched a couple of your games. Now I'm invested in a bet of you going up.
Yeah.
Starting to win a few good. I've been watching a few games, and you do play good football. There's some great loan signings, don't you? Good ball playing team. So.
But who do you think can pick the third place?
Rovers.
Well, you hope that. What do you think?
I think after they so hard to tell. I think Northampton. I can't see them losing, to be honest.
They're not a great football inside, to be honest. I've not been impressed with Northampton.
No.
Twice I've seen them this year, but they got everything to play for, haven't they?
Yeah. I think we've said it before, Nigel, weren't we, on the show, or Gary has, that the playoffs are one of the best inventions in football in recent years, isn't they? Because it's right down to 9th place. Everyone's still involved in still got something to play for, haven't they?
Yeah, it keeps the competition open a bit longer, doesn't it? Like you say, I mean, even teams in the bottom half of the league, if they put a run together, all of a sudden they're within the playoffs. So yeah, it was a good idea bringing that into it.
Yeah, and seeing Sutton there, their first season in the Football League, isn't it? They got to the Papa Jones Trophy. They've had a brilliant season. But if you get in the playoffs, I don't think there's anyone you've got to worry about really. Over the two legs, the final's a different game altogether, one off, isn't it? But
and that's it. I mean, I don't think we fear anyone in the league now. I don't think we should. There's no reason why we should. But it's football, isn't it? Anything can happen.
So should we have a look at your Joey Barton on the pitch after? He's got a bit of stick in him from other fans, from other teams, saying you're celebrating a bit early, but...
Well, yeah, that was us, though, really, and it was more about the fact that we were 8th, we were at the playoffs instead of buried, you know what I mean? And then to come back like that, 10 minutes before half-time whistle, I was down in the concourse having a pint, you know what I mean? I was giving up. You know what I mean? And Barton, to his credit, when he was on the lad's shoulders, he's saying, put me down, we've done nothing yet. That's all he kept saying.
Should we have a look at it, so?
Yeah, I'll stick it on. Yeah.
Yeah, great scenes, weren't they?
Yeah.
You said you were sitting behind, not far from the chairman and all, weren't you?
Yeah, I only realised at the final whistle, while our caddy, our president and owner, we sat about 4 rows back, with Tom Gorringe, our CEO, as well. Both sat there.
Dave, can you hear us? No, you can't. Right, good evening, Stephen Parkin. And what's he asking? Nigel, do you think Watford will be in the playoffs? Maybe he's talking about next season if they if Palace send you down on Saturday. We got Watford Saturday, didn't we?
Oh, I don't know. The way they're playing at the moment, they'll be dropping down another division.
Yeah. Nice to see Roy Hodgson get his was it CBE he got this week, didn't he, for services for football?
Yeah. I know. I was speaking to Greg yesterday, and he said the online abuse that they've been getting because he got relegated is sort of being a bit over the top, and I think it's all like fans wanting to criticise players and managers and stuff like that, but there's only so far you can take it, and then if you've done that in a normal environment, you get knocked out, wouldn't you?
Yeah, keyboard warriors, isn't it?
It's not a good thing. I mean, I know he was a bit real cheesed off with it because he said he don't mind criticism, but it went well over the top.
Yeah. Who's this, Nigel? Who are you talking about?
This is Greg. It's Billericay.
Oh, Greg. Sorry. Yes. Yeah. They lost at home, didn't they? And then Welling somehow beat top of the league Maidstone, didn't they? 4-2 or something. It was just. Oh, that's shocking. He got abuse. That's they've done it with all their best intentions there, haven't they? They've.
Well, especially with the investment he's putting in that, they're all kicking the balls, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, they've invested a lot into the club, and like I said, fans have got every right to have their say and express how they feel, but there's a certain line where once you start getting abusive. I mean, when I played at Villa, I was getting that much abuse off Villa fans. In the end, I was getting called names while I was sat in the stand, and in the end, I used to turn up, go and check in at the dressing room at 1:45 because you had to check in just in case someone was ill or something. You was needed at the last minute. I'd go say, well, all the best lads, shut the door. I'd go out of the club. I'd get in my car. I'd drive down the A38 and I'd go and watch Derby at home. That's how bad it got, and there is, you can't. There is a certain limit where people have got to realise they're overstepping it.
Yeah. It's shocking, and it gets personal as well, doesn't it? Really personal, some of that abuse, doesn't it? And I just think fans don't realise. I mean, you have a go at your players. I think you're entitled to boo at the end of a game. Of course you are. You paid your money to go in, but not. personal abuse and stuff. Right, Dave, can you hear us, mate?
No.
Dave? No.
I think you should hold a sign up.
No, still can't hear us. But back in League Two, we had Forest Green. Is it Harrogate Town? We're away to Forest Green Rovers, and there's a lot of fancy dress. A lot of teams do fancy dress on the last day of the season, and I think we're going to go show Hartlepool in a minute. But these Harrogate fans at the vegan club Forest Green Rovers turned up as free hot dogs. We got the picture, so have we?
I remember Swindon did it a couple of years ago. They turned up at Forest Green all dressed as bushers.
But on a lighter note, or on a fantastic note, it was the Hartlepool fans always known for dressing up. They've been Smurfs, haven't they? All different things, penguins over the years. But this weekend, for the NHS during COVID, they thought they would go as nurses and doctors, and I think we got a video of it, so haven't we? That was brilliant, wasn't it?
Yeah, fantastic things, isn't it?
Yeah,
Brilliant.
it was great. What do you think of that, Dave? No, you're still not with us. So you boys ever dressed up in fancy dress?
No, not for a long time.
I think the last time I was a perverted vicar. I looked like the Dick Henry vicar. I had the old glasses and teeth hanging out.
What was that last week at work?
Yeah, I've just taken it off. Right, Diego Maradona's shirt was sold this week, wasn't it? £7.1 million.
Steve Hodge, can't believe it.
Now, do you ever play against him, Nigel?
Yeah, quite a few times. When I was actually roommates with him in the under-21s.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so we're telling each other a few stories about the managers. Like he was telling me about Cloughie and stuff like that. I think it was Nigel Davenport had just gotten into the Forest side. And he scored about 20 goals so far in the season, and the press are interviewing him, and Cloughie's walked past him, and they're saying, "Well, how many goals are you looking to get?" He said, "Well, if I can get 28 goals by the end of the season," he said, "I'll be quite happy with that." And then Cloughie turned around and went, "Young man, if you get 28 games with me, you'll be lucky."
Got to love a Cloughie story, haven't you?
That's brilliant.
Yeah. No, but I was roommates with Steve, and I see last time I saw Steve, he was doing a Q&A at Stafford Rangers Football Club.
Right.
A night with Steve Hodge here, so I don't feel he'll need to do any more of them after that. Will he?
He's got a nice little pension fund. I mean, I think he went to a buyer in Abu Dhabi, they reckon, that it was anonymous. But I think the Argentinian, I don't know if it was a government or some people there were trying to buy it, but they just, £7.1 million. I mean,
Wow, that's unbelievable. He's expecting 4 million money.
Yeah, 4 million was a starting bid, and just crazy. But I think it's the world record for a football shirt memorabilia. So I mean, but there was a bit of confusion. The daughter of Maradona was saying it wasn't the shirt, but they've looked at it and analysed and everything, Sotheby's, and it is the same.
Well, you can't help thinking that the daughter's all of a sudden gone, bloody hell, I want some of that money. They're making up these stories, aren't they? So,
oh god, yeah. But they that shirt that I heard on the radio today, their away kit wasn't their original away kit, and because the one they had it was too heavy because they never wore the blue before, I don't think. So they got that one and sewed the badges on it. So it was a bit of a late replacement, but yeah, 7.1 million. Fair play to Steve Hodge. He was a great player, wasn't he? Hodge, was he a midfielder when he, Nigel?
Yeah, he played left midfield, I think. He was quick. sort of like he was an irritating little midfielder that never left you alone. But yeah, good player, Steve, in this day. He's playing good. At the time, they were a good side, Forest.
Yeah. Well, the midfield, it was England midfield. It was Peter Reid, wasn't it? And Steve Hodge. I can't remember who it was.
Yeah.
Now, but none of them got near Maradona, did they? That day?
No.
There's a picture of Peter Reid standing next to the in Sotheby's next to the shirt, and he said, "This is the closest I've ever got to this."
It's just, it's just a shame that he's tired. His reputation been at handball, Yeah. He's one of the greatest footballers about, but a lot of people don't like him because of what he done.
Understandably so, though, isn't it? Really.
I think Matty from UK Casualty said he should burn the shirt.
I wouldn't burn it if it was worth £7 million.
For me, Maradona's the best player the world's ever seen. I think. Anyway, I think he's especially what he did at Napoli and all on his own. It was right. Let's have a look. Should we move on and have a look at the championship? Sorry.
Yeah.
I think it's their last day of the season, isn't it, this week? Bit gutted for.
Yeah.
I haven't got the championship.
Oh no!
All right.
Well, Fulham have gone up, haven't they? And Bournemouth.
You got Forest and Huddersfield on 79 points. You got Sheffield United and Luton next on 72 points, and you've got Middlesbrough 7th on 70 points. So I would imagine it's between Millwall on 69. They've got a slight chance, but it's Sheffield United, Luton, and Middlesbrough sort of more or less in the mix.
Yeah, and I think Millwall have gone with a shout because who let in 7? Luton let in 7, didn't they? So the goal difference all tightened up, didn't it?
Yeah, I think Millwall got a better goal difference than Luton.
Yeah.
So if Luton lose and Millwall win, they'll probably take the spot.
Yeah,
which will please all the Watford fans greatly.
Unfortunately, we can have a chat to Dave about QPR. They faded away this season. They've don't know what's happened to them. Start going really well in the hunt and then just dropped off.
They've been like that for the last 10 years, haven't they? Really, they've always sort of had a good little run and then they fade out, and they never seem to go down or go up. They just seem to sit in the middle of the league, don't they?
Yeah, that's what Dave was saying earlier. He said same old QPR. Just can you hear us now, Dave? No?
He did get the right link, didn't he?
He just don't want to talk about QPR.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah.
How you doing, Dave?
Hello.
Faintly, yeah.
Hello.
Hello.
Have I emerged back into the universe again?
Yeah.
Only on the edge of it, I think.
Hello.
Hello, Dave.
I'm on the edge of you.
Earth to Dave. Oh, he's got. There's another game up the right there. Wickham, the Buckinghamshire derby.
Something about QPR, and I thought.
Yeah, Buckinghamshire derby tonight. Wickham against Milton Keynes.
Dons.
MK Dons, yeah. So, and the bigger game is tomorrow night. Is it Sunderland against Sheffield Wednesday?
Yeah.
Which is a massive. I mean, there was 33,000 there against Portsmouth at the weekend, which is unbelievable for a second or third tier club. Although they're like Sheffield Wednesday are massive, aren't they? But I think the game's at Sunderland on Saturday or Friday night, isn't it? First, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
But it would be nice to see them get back up.
When's the second legs? On Sunday or something?
I think it's early next week. I think maybe Monday, Tuesday.
Right. Yeah.
So we'll see about that. Right. What else can we touch on here? Let's have a look here. I want to give a shout out to Carlton Town. We've had Mick Garton on here and Boatsy Clark, and they won the Northants or Nottinghamshire Cup Senior Cup yesterday, didn't they? Against they beat Mansfield Town under 23s 1-0. So fair play to them. Great shout.
Bit
and I
silverware.
think, yeah, they beat Nottingham Forest under 23s in the round before. So fantastic achievements. A big shout out to them.
I'll tell you the other big subject this week that we've not talked about is the fact that Chelsea are in real trouble at the moment. Financial side of Chelsea, they're in a mess at the moment, aren't they?
They've extended their, is it June the 8th or something, their cut-off point?
Well, but they're saying that he might now want his 1.6 billion loan back.
He's come out in the last hour though, so they're saying that he doesn't. That's not come from him, but
yeah, but they haven't got long to get all this sorted out at the moment.
No.
I mean that's unthinkable that Chelsea could not be playing next year.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I don't think it's going to happen, but everything's being left to the last minute, isn't it?
Yeah.
Same as Derby are the same at the moment.
Yeah, it just shows our clubs are so fragile from their financial basis or status. If it's one person behind them, if there was a story of Burnley this week, if they go down, they could be in right shit street. They've got to repay this loan they've got sooner than they had to. I think it's 65 million or something. So I mean, they're in severe trouble, and they're running at a loss. I think there's a £3 million loss. But the worst one is Man United. They paid 700 million for the club, the Glazers, and straight away they put £500 million debt into it to service their own debt.
Yeah,
and there's still £550 million in debt now. So I mean, it's just
crazy, isn't it?
How can the so-called best football league in the world be all running on debt?
Yeah.
It's not business, is it? It doesn't.
No. One of the biggest clubs in the world in financial difficulty.
Well, yeah, buy the club and stick it in debt and service the debt. Yeah, you shouldn't be allowed to do that.
Another Glazer out protest planned for this weekend, didn't there? Another one.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, they were touching on the subject that we was talking about last week about these parachute payments, and that the clubs that are going down are saying it's so hard to get out of the Championship now because the clubs that seem to be dropping down into the Championship are going straight back up again because they're getting help with these parachute payments. So it's almost like they're getting a helping hand to come straight back up again the next season.
Yeah.
So I think they need to address something like that because I don't think that's fair at the moment.
Look at Fulham and Bournemouth.
Yeah.
Fulham have pissed the league, haven't they? And Bournemouth spent heavily, didn't they? I mean, if they didn't go up this year, I think they'd have been in shit street. But they spent heavily in the window.
Yeah.
But you're right, Nigel. It just shows them they're both top. And I think there's a big drop off in quality after that. I mean, Forest have done amazing, haven't they? But I think
there's a good chance that them two will come back down again next year.
Yeah.
And then if Watford come down this year and Norwich, everyone would fancy them to be up at the top of the league again next season. And I think they need to have a good look at that. So, the teams below the Premier need help financially, all of them right the way down to the grassroots. But I think they need to look at that parachute payment situation because you're going to have a situation where the same teams are going to be going down and going up at the same time.
Yeah. It's going to become as predictable as the Premier League is becoming at the top, isn't it?
At the top, bottom would be just as predictable as the top.
Yeah.
Where's the fun in that?
I mean, if Middlesbrough or maybe Sheffield United can slip in it, they must have some parachute money left over as well, won't they?
Yeah,
From a couple of seasons ago. You got to massively applaud Luton Town for what they've done, the position they're in. Huddersfield as well, and Forest. But Steve Cooper's done. He's done an unbelievable job, hasn't he?
Well, it wasn't that long ago. Luton were playing in the National League, weren't they? Well, conference then.
That's right.
Yeah.
I think they beat Wrexham in the playoffs when I met the Wrexham fans a couple of months ago. And now look at them now, and they've only get like 9,000-10,000, didn't they? So I mean, it's unbelievable what they've.
It's all the grand olds, isn't it? That's why. But aren't they building a new stadium? I think, aren't they?
I think there's talk of it like 20,000. Stand stadium. But
so listen, Watford and Derby have had a bit of a nightmare season. I feel sorry for their fans. I mean, Derby have given it a good go. Watford are coming down, but all hope's not lost yet because if Luton don't make the playoffs and Forest don't win the playoffs, then it's not been a bad season. Like that'll cheer up a few Derby and Watford supporters. That's the scenario.
But talking about the Abramovich, the money at Chelsea, the sale, a lot of the money with the funds was going to go to Ukraine, wasn't it? To help the people, or
Apparently so.
But David Dean came out with the idea. I think he wrote a letter to Boris about investing 750. Was it 75 million? I can't think of the figure now. Because there was so much of his raised to put it into grassroots football, invest in new pitches, new facilities, which is a great idea. I think it's hopefully they do it, but maybe that sounds like it's up in the air at the minute, doesn't it? But we'll have to see.
Going from Chelsea, we can go into Everton, can't we?
Yeah. Do you think they're going to stay up? Yeah. Oh yeah, we got a shot of that.
Yeah, we got a video for that. Yeah.
We got the
Put it on?
Yeah, stick the Everton before they played Chelsea the night before, early hours in the morning. They fans did this outside the Chelsea hotel.
On the app! On the fucking app! On the app! Yes! Aiden! Off the app! Yes, now!
That's unbelievable, that.
Fortune as well, those fireworks. I thought there was no money in Liverpool. You know what I mean?
That's better than the fireworks you get on New Year's Eve in London. but it done the job. Well, I don't know if that was a major factor, but
they beat them.
Yeah, and I think they beat them the last 4 seasons at home, Everton. So it was always been a bit of a, I don't know, maybe a bit of a bogey side. But Jordan Pickford made some great saves. I don't know if you saw the game, but he made some brilliant saves in that game. And but fair play to Everton.
What do you think, Dave?
It's looking like it could be Leeds going down now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Leeds, yeah.
I think they got. I think Leeds have got Arsenal. Was it Saturday? I think someone else has got. I think Everton have got Villa. Maybe got it round the wrong way. But even I think I actually fancy Burnley to stay up. I hope they do. I like Burnley.
I think Everton are okay. I think they're safe now. But I think it's Burnley or Leeds now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Burnley have got Villa at home.
Right.
And then on the Sunday, Arsenal, Leeds, Leicester, Everton.
It's tough. We've got to play Everton away again yet. Palace have. But it's going to go down to the wire, isn't it?
Yeah. Looks like it. Yeah, Stephen Parkin said Leeds United have to play Chelsea next Wednesday night.
I think a lot of fans would like to see Everton go down for some reason, wouldn't they? I don't know what the reason is behind that, but I don't know.
I don't think it'll happen.
No.
I think they've more or less sort of given them a 99% chance of staying up now.
Yeah.
I think Burnley, if Burnley win, I mean, that's the cat right amongst the pigeons, isn't it?
Yeah. Dave, can you hear us, mate? You're moving about, Dave, so you look like you're back on. No.
So it's mobile phones, isn't
it? Yeah. Right, but there was another firework displayed the night before Bournemouth played Forest. And the Bournemouth fans tried the same thing. Have you got that, Si?
No, we haven't got that.
Why? I mean, is that allowed? I mean, do the police allowing that to happen? Or
well, that just
is there any arrests over that? I mean, that didn't look safe to me. That
was it?
You never sent it to me, Dan.
Didn't I?
No.
Oh, sorry, mate. But the Bournemouth fans done it, but I think they got their fireworks from Primark because it was like I've heard louder Christmas crackers.
Yeah,
just a few sprinklers going off. But you're right though, Nigel. Them fireworks are bouncing off the building, weren't they?
Yeah. I mean,
it's dangerous, isn't it?
But that's what I mean. Were the police there, or is that a controlled firework display? I mean, it wouldn't have bothered me back in my day because I never used to go to sleep till about 1 o'clock in the morning anyway.
You'd be all down the hotel bar, wouldn't you?
No, I was on the old PlayStation thing.
Oh, was you?
I'd be up fighting the Dungeons and Dragons at that time.
Right, I've got to give a shout out to Chippenham Town. We have, is it Simon Lawrence who's been on the show? I think he was trying. We went to go last week. He couldn't make it. He's commercial manager at Chippenham Town in National League Division South, isn't it? I think. That's the league that unfortunately Billericay Town went down, got relegated from last week. But Chippenham they're in just one place outside the playoffs, and they're playing Havant and Waterlooville, who are in the playoffs. And that it just so happens the last game of the season they're playing each other. So
massive game for them.
Massive, yeah. And to get into the playoffs. So see how that goes. Maidstone won the league, so congratulations to them. Dorking Wanderers sort of had a bit of a bad run at the end of the season, so they're in the playoffs now. I think the playoffs are next week, I believe, but we'll see. Right, I believe the West Ham game's kicked off now. Also Rangers. What are your thoughts on that game tonight, Nigel? Do you think?
West Ham, I think they've got a big mountain to climb. I think it's going to be hard beating the German side over there. I think Rangers have got a chance. Get the Ibrox forward behind them, and I think Rangers have got the easier chance out of the two, to be honest.
Especially being, it's only a goal in between both games, isn't it? It's not.
Yeah, but the Germans, they're like bloody machines, aren't they? They just seem to be able to turn it on when they need it to turn it on.
Yeah.
And they could be poor in pre-season and sort of like they've shown it in the World Cups. They've been poor in the groups leading up to the World Cup finals, and then all of a sudden they're flying. So they're going to be a hard ground to go and beat, but nothing's impossible, is it?
No. I mean, West Ham's had a good season regardless, haven't they? They've got to be happy with their season. Yeah,
they've had a great season, but they'll still be gutted if they go out of this stage of the cup. You're always gutted if you go out of the semi-finals.
Yeah, and I think it showed that their league form's dropped off, mainly because of the squad ain't big enough, and then you can have a dig at the GSB, Gold, Sullivan, and Brady, because they didn't invest, did they, in that, knowing they had a cup run coming up, and
it's again like sort of, do they go all out to try and get a place in the top four by putting the club into a bit more debt or whatever it is? And I suppose they've got to look at, if we buy them players, are we actually still going to finish in the top four?
Yeah.
So that's probably what they looked at. But listen, they've done brilliant getting where they are at the moment.
Yeah.
You've got a fan there, Dan.
Yeah, I'll pay you later, Chris. He's a work colleague. He's a fellow shit train driver like myself.
I've got to nip off early, like I said. Now I'm afraid.
All right, Si.
Right. Have the rest of the good show.
Cheers, Si. You'll have to come back and switch us off.
I will be. I'm just looking out. Right. Just the two of you, I'm afraid. Have a good show.
Right. Cheers, Si.
I forgot to tell you, Dan, I've got to go in 5 minutes.
Okay.
I'm only joking.
Well, you look at Liverpool's, they're going for the quadruple. Their squad, they got a great squad, but to do that across all 4 competitions and win,
and
it's unbelievable.
The Premier League city's to lose at the moment, isn't it? So, if they win all the games, both teams, and City are the champions.
Yeah. So I was going to say how this will affect them, though, getting that, the way they lost last night. Maybe that'll take something out of them.
I don't think it will. They're just, Guardiola's a good coach, they'll be ready for the next Premier League game.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to suffer any hangovers over that.
No.
They'll be gutted. I mean, listen, you're always gutted, but at the same time, you've always got the next match, and that's the beauty about football. There's always another match for you.
Yeah.
So they'll be fired up for the weekends.
So Liverpool got Spurs, haven't they? It's a tough game for them, that is.
Yeah, I mean,
Spurs have got a lot to play for.
Spurs are Jekyll and Hyde, aren't they? When they turn up, they're a good side. Yeah, and they're capable of beating anyone. But it just depends on which Spurs side turn up.
Yeah, get all Spursy.
Yeah,
but they're shooting out. I think they've got to play Arsenal, haven't they, in the North London derby, which is a massive shootout for that.
Is it all right? When's that coming up?
I think it's a couple of weeks. Chris might be able to tell us. I know it's not this weekend, but I'm sure. I think it was a game that got called off through COVID. Do you remember Arsenal said they had a few players went down, so they called the game off.
All right.
So that game's still to come, so that'd be a massive game. I would like to talk about Carlo Ancelotti last night. He's the most calmest manager going. His expression don't change, does it?
No, he's
His eyebrows do, but
he's I tell you what, he's just got a wealth of experience. He's been in it so long. I don't think things flutter him. And he's got a great track record. You know, you can't knock his track record.
no. Will that go on his record if Everton go down? I don't know how it works because he was here, wasn't he?
It's got to, isn't it? But, I mean, you're part of the side that's gone down. It doesn't matter whether you're there for a week or a year. You're still there. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like I said, it's difficult these days with players because you don't know. They spit their dummies out so much, and they're getting paid that much money per week that if they get dropped, they don't care anyway.
No.
You know, you do care, but because you want to play. But I mean, it's not hitting them in the pocket, and it's not making them poor or anything like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Back in our day, like if you didn't, like I said, if you weren't in the side, you didn't get win bonuses, you didn't get appearance money. There's things you missed out on if you weren't in the first team.
Yeah.
And I think like some players do need a kick up the arse and a bollocking, but managers can't do that now. You know, it's all about you've got to talk to them right. You've got to do this. You've got to do that. And
you've got their agents in the era, haven't they?
Yeah, I just think that there's certain players that need an arm round and certain players that need a kick up the arse to get them playing, and you can't do that these days.
We look at Jesse Lingard. His brother had come out, didn't he? After he didn't get put on the pitch because it's his last game at Old Trafford because he's going into the season.
Yeah.
And his brother, I think on Instagram, said he sweat blood and tears for this club, and they didn't bring him on for a little swan song the last 10 minutes. But the manager said he's not been in training much, so he obviously ain't. He's not doing something right there, is he, Jesse Lingard?
No. Yeah, but he's had a bit of a rough deal at Man U. You know, he was doing well at West Ham.
Brilliant, wasn't he, at West Ham?
But they brought him back, and then they didn't play him again. Like, you know, it's the new managers are coming in, not fancying him in the first team, and I can see his frustration at that. And United they're not going to get Champions League place this year. So yeah, why didn't the manager just put him on for the last 5 minutes?
There was 3-0 up, I think, as well.
Yeah.
They was winning 3-0, weren't they?
I'm not sure about this Raniak as a manager. For me, he don't get me excited at all. Even when his interviews seem a bit boring.
Well, I mean, I remember his first game. I think it was against Palace, but they won 2-0, and he explained how he presses and this player did this, and he was like gloating about himself. And then since then, I still can't identify a way Man United style of football. I still don't know what they're. They
were saying that Ronaldo was going to be in trouble because he weren't going to figure in his plans and stuff like that. And you know, Ronaldo's been the best player at United this year.
He has, isn't he? Yeah.
I don't know how a manager can sort of like look at it that way, but.
They got the Dutch fella coming, didn't they, next season?
I don't think anybody at United knows what's going on at the moment. It's been that type of season, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
Can I just say quick hello to Sonia Spong, who's on here?
Sure you can, mate.
Watford fan, and I think Chris Thwaites come on as well. Liverpool will get rolled over on Saturday night.
Yeah, he's a Spurs fan, Chris. Yeah. Hello to Damon McDermott. Is that one of your mates?
Yeah, Damo's he's a
Derby fan.
Derby fan, and comes on my streams.
So they won 2-0 up Blackpool, didn't they?
Yeah. They didn't play the best, but you know they got a 2-0 win, and obviously with the fans being up there, it's over 4,000 fans. It took over one side of the stadium. I think.
I see you had the length for the side. Yeah, I think it was 12,000. Good crowd. 12,000 over 12,000, I think. Yeah,
they're great fans. Great fans of Derby lot. And you know, winning 2-0 with all that, it all sort of led towards them having a good weekend. Really, I was talking to a few of the fans before the match, and do you know what? If Derby went to Blackpool that day and needed to win to have a chance to stay up, I don't think people would have enjoyed the day so much because they'd all been on edge. And if Derby would have lost, everybody would have been down. But everybody went there knowing that Derby were down. They went there with the intention of having a good time, getting behind the lads. And then it all starts again next season, doesn't it? So
yeah, and there's a lot. I mean, I don't know who's bought the. Is it going through yet? I know they had a preferred buy, didn't they, at Derby? I'm not sure if it's all been finalised.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything about it, but I think it'll all go through now. You know, the player who got player of the season was a centre back. Forget what his name is now. Craig Davis.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he got Player of the Season at the awards night the
Right.
other night. And he's 37, and he's played every single game this season.
Bloody hell.
And he's a great player. So he's hoping that he gets one more year on this contract.
Yeah.
I think because his contract's up, they're not allowed to give him a new one yet until the club's been taken over.
No, that's right.
So,
I mean, hopefully Rooney. I think Rooney will stay.
Yeah, I think he will. I think if the right owners come in and they're allowed to start getting some players into the squad, I think he'll get them up. And
Curtis Davies.
Curtis Davies, that's it. Yeah.
He's been around. He's a great defender, isn't he?
Yeah, he's been at quite a few clubs, hasn't he?
Yeah. No, did he have a little sniff at England at one point? I'm not sure. Very good centre back.
He was at Luton for a little bit, wasn't he?
Yeah. We've Palace bought one of the Derby players. We loaned him back, Luke Plunge, I think his name is.
Oh yeah.
Looks like a really good player.
Has he come back to Derby? Is he?
Yeah, we bought him for $1 million a few months ago in the window, and then we loaned him straight back. And I've chatted to a Derby fan. He said he's a really young, good prospect. Like I think he's a forward or sort of number 10, maybe.
He's been doing well. He's had some good games, so that's a bonus.
Yeah. So I think the reason Steve Parrish did it, the chairman, he said, because we've been in shit street in administration, said £1 million, we'll pay it in cash. Well, they'll give it to him, so help your club running, and we'll loan him back. But I think a few Derby fans said, well, you've had a bit of a bargain there, really, in the long run of it. He's a really good player. He's probably worth a lot more than £1 million. I don't know if Damo wants to say anything about plans, but yeah. Oh, Dave, keep your Dave says, sorry, lads, totally lost my connection. But he's able to watch on his phone now. No worries, Dave. Thanks for trying, mate. We could see you. He was frozen. So, what are you working this weekend, Nigel? What, are you going to watch any games or?
No, I've actually finished working at the Neptune now. I had a chat with my boss Steve, and I've had 4 years there now.
Right. The pub in the.
Yeah, I just feel like I want to try get something a little bit closer to where I live in Stafford, and sort of just a change of scenery, really. So I mean, after the 3 days at Blackpool that I've done, and you're playing tunes where hands are in the air and you get the hairs on the back of your neck sticking up, and that was like how it used to be, and I sort of want a little bit more of that. And the Neptune's a great pub, but it's not a nightclub.
No.
So I'm probably going to end up having a few Saturdays off, and then see what offers come in, and I want to try and get a bit near Stafford. I'm fed up driving miles to work now.
You won't fancy going to Spain or going abroad again, Nigel? Then would you
No, it's difficult. My mum's sort of got dementia at the moment.
Oh, sorry, mate.
So I sort of need to be here looking after her, really. That's part of the reason why I'm trying to get somewhere a little bit closer to work. And I'm doing the streams 6 nights a week now, so I'm sort of like I'm enjoying that.
Yeah.
And obviously we've just started this show up. Still getting a few little hiccups. Are you on a laptop?
I'm on a laptop, yeah.
I am as well. I think we need to try and get people that are coming on to go to log onto a laptop, because all the problems we're having with people not being able to connect is when they're on the phones.
The phones, yeah, definitely.
So I think we need to try and get them to go onto the laptops, and seems to be a lot clearer.
Right, a little update on the football. It's Eintracht Frankfurt 0, West Ham 0, but Aaron Cresswell's been sent off. Just been sent off.
So
that's a massive blow. He got sent off the other day as well, didn't he?
I don't know. Milton Keynes are 0-0 still.
Right, and Rangers have gone 1 up. Just now, yeah.
There you go. So they're all square now, aren't they?
Bloody hell, yeah. But that's a nightmare for West Ham to lose Cresswell.
Yeah. Early in the match as well.
Yeah, that's a killer blow. I mean, it's some great scenes out there in Frankfurt today. To see Tony Cottee was on it's on our Facebook page. He jumped up on the fountain, come out of the crowd and just started singing to the whole, about 1,000 West Ham, singing their West Ham a Massive song. Then he got a ball and kicked it up in the air at the end and just jumped back down. But he was a great player. Did you ever play with Tony Cotty? Did you ever get the?
Yeah, I think I played against Tony a few times. Can't remember. He probably was in his West Ham days.
Yeah, powerful, very small but powerful. Wasn't he? Massive legs. What a strong...
We had some small centre forwards at Derby. You know, we had Dean Saunders. He was rapid. He was quick. John Chidozie, remember him?
Yeah, John Chidozie.
And we had Sarge from West Ham, Paul Goddard.
Right, another good player.
Yeah, we didn't have big players. Yeah, we played with two wingers getting balls in the box.
Right.
But yeah, it's Dave's just putting the hours on my laptop, so not sure what the problem is. The Wi-Fi is probably too slow.
Could be that.
Yeah. So it's.
But Saunders was he was one of my favourite players back then, Dean Saunders.
I had a great understanding with Dean. We sort of knew where each other were going to put the ball.
Right.
I had a real good connection with Dean on the pitch.
Yeah.
I love playing with him as well. He was a good player for me.
Because did he like coming and picking up from deep and running at players and all, didn't he?
Yeah, but with Dino's pace, you just need to put the ball in, slide it between the defenders and give him something to run onto.
Yeah.
And he was good in the air as well, Dean. So, it's pointless giving. You don't want to be playing the balls in the players' feet when they've got the speed that Dean's got.
Yeah.
Ideally, you want to be turning the centre backs, don't you? They're quite happy to have the centre forwards in front of them with the ball at the feet because they know where they are. But back
then, the defender could come right through and all, couldn't they? They could just.
Of course, they could. Yeah. I mean, they come through the back here, but you sort of know where the centre forward knows where the centre back is, and he knows where the centre forward is. So once you start stretching the centre backs, they don't like it, So then they drop off here. So once they start getting caught out with balls behind them, they start dropping off to give themselves a head start, which means it gives you a bit more space.
Yeah.
So they're difficult to mark, quick players, and I think in this day and age, I think in the Premier League, you've got to be strong and you've got to be quick. Back in my day, he was strong or he was quick, and not that strong, and you could get away with it. But I think now in the Premier League, you're more or less the finished package, aren't you?
Because a lot of people up front play on their own in the Premier League, didn't they? I mean, it was a lot for two up top, wasn't it? Back in the 80s, you had like the big man, small man.
Yeah.
Now you've got to be an all-round player, haven't you, to play up top on your own.
But that's what I'm saying about you. These days in the Premiership, you've got to have pace. And like you say, you've got one man up front, but you've got players breaking so fast on the counter attacks, and they're going from one end of the pitch to the other really quick. So you can afford to play with one man up front because the other is going to get the support. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, I mean Vardy's one of the best examples of pace up front, isn't he? He's it must be a nightmare to defend against him. One of my favourite Dean Saunders goals, I don't know if it was against Sheffield United or he was playing for him, but the ball went out, the keeper come out and shut him down. It was like right out on the sideline. The keeper's miles out of his box, but Dean's picked the ball up to take a throw on, and he's just thrown it against the back of the goalkeeper.
I remember that.
He's dropped down and he's just smacked. Brilliant, a bit of intuition just to do that. I don't know if it was Mark Cross. I can't remember who it was against. I think it was at Sheffield United.
Yeah,
great
I remember that quite well.
Yeah, very good player. So, talking about Maradona's shirts, have you got any other players' shirts of note?
We never swapped shirts when I played. You weren't allowed to.
Right.
If I'd have swapped with my shirts, I'd have been deducted out of my wage packet. When you're only getting £300 a week.
Did you have to take home and wash your own shirts at home and all? Did you?
We did, yeah.
Did you?
I'm not kidding you. We had to have our own training kit and wash it. And it's only sort of like after a few years at Watford that they started putting all training kit out and the boots and stuff like that. But before, we'd have to take our muddy kit home, put them in the wash, and have it ready for the next day.
Bloody hell.
Yeah.
Did you ever like a trainee or one of the youth players as your? I don't know what they used to call them in football.
Yeah, we had an apprentice. We got assigned. Oh, Rangers are 2-0 up now.
Bloody hell.
We got assigned about 2 or 3 players' boots that we had to clean all the time. And
Right.
who
was your apprentice for, Nigel? Did you...
I can't even remember. It was that long ago. I can't even remember who I've done it for.
Is you back there, Dave?
Hello, mate.
Yes.
Hey.
Yeah. Well, thanks for joining us, Dave. Anyway, we'll see you all next week.
Fucking typical. Well, you know what Nigel was saying, right? I was listening. I was on my laptop, right, originally, and it weren't working. So I thought, let's do a bit of what Nigel just said. If the problems are on the phone, I've just accessed it on the phone, so the phone's better than the laptop over in Ireland. God knows, mate. But then that's Ireland for you, ain't it?
Yeah.
Eh?
There's no delay on it. There's no delay either, Dave. It's perfect now.
Yeah, well, I think we'll have to do it on the phone next time then, because I don't know what the laptop just. I don't know. God knows. God knows. And it's probably because they didn't want me to talk about QPR anyway, though, Dan.
I did think about it.
I swerved. Yeah.
Anyway, back to QPR. Who do you fancy as the next manager, Dave?
Who do I fancy? Who would I like, or who do I think?
Is there anyone rumoured to get the job? Because he's staying at the end of the season, isn't he, Warburton?
Yeah, they're not going to offer him a new contract, I don't think. So he's on his way out. But if you pick, like you get all the same. If you look at the odds on the bookies, who's going to be the next Blackburn manager, who's going to be the next QPR manager, pretty much the same. So it's probably just speculate. It's all speculation. But talking about that Norwich fella, Daniel Farke.
Right.
Could be a good one.
Sean Dyche, he'd be on a lot of people's.
Got a few updates on the football. Roma are 1-0 up against Leicester, and West Ham are 1-0 down now.
I've got that on telly actually. The West Ham game. They had a man sent off just now. The second ball. Some trouble. That's it for West Ham, I think. Unfortunately,
need 2
goals.
I've
seen them go through.
Yeah.
they've
Rangers
had it,
turning away. James Taverner, Glenn Kamara.
Well, Rangers are doing well. It'd be nice to see the West Ham Rangers final, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it'd be lovely, wouldn't it? All British final.
Yeah.
So, Dave, you were saying that QPR sound like they're running a bit of money troubles.
Yeah. Well, what it is, someone was telling me tonight, really. They're bored of putting in 11 million a year to keep us afloat. So they're losing 11 million a year. I think they're disinterested. I think they've lost it. They don't care. I don't think they want to do it anymore. So it's either they're going to have a clean sweep or just go back to the bare bones and live off nothing. Basically, we have the last few years. They might be looking to sell. I don't know. But it looks like there's no ambition anymore there. I don't think it's gone.
Is that the Indian fella, the big steel company fellow who owns QPR?
Well, you mean Mittal? Mittal sold up his main shareholding to Tony Fernandes. Tony Fernandes is the AirAsia.
Yeah.
He actually wanted to buy West Ham originally, but they didn't want to sell to him. Tony Fernandes, believe it or not. And he came to QPR. He's now taken a back seat and handed over the chairmanship. We've got a very good CEO over there dealing with the finances called Lee Hughes, and he's stabilised the ship for the last 3 seasons. Just getting in low, like free signings and people on next to nothing. Our squad cost 11 million at the beginning of the season, and we just can't compete. We've done well at the beginning of the season, but second half of the season it's just gone to pot. I think there's more going on behind the scenes that meets the eye, to be honest.
Yeah.
That's what it stinks of.
Les Ferdinand's there at all. Is he Les Ferdinand in some capacity, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a director of football. I don't know what he's doing, really. I mean, he seems to be, I don't know, people slag. It's a 50-50 sort of vote on him. Whether I don't know. He kind of stabilising the ship, doing a bit of scouting and that. He's out scouting and stuff. So we're picking up some good players and selling them on. We're a selling club, aren't we, QPR? We always have been. So that's the way it goes. I think we're going to be selling again at the end of this season, and just God knows. I don't know. It's just.
Did you play there, Nigel, at QPR's ground? I imagine it's a good ground to play.
Yeah, I played on that when I had a synthetic pitch.
Man.
Terry Venables. Remember when Terry Venables was manager?
Do I? 1982 to 83, my favourite ever season supporting QPR. So I'd have seen you play, definitely Nigel, 100%, because that was my heyday as a QPR fan was the early 80s, like when you're growing up. And
well, Graham Taylor and Venables hated each other.
Did they?
All right, so when we used to play, well, when QPR came to play at Watford, we'd give them the worst warm-up balls ever. And, the birds should be like Rex. And they came out one day and they ran up to the rookery end where they were warming up. And all the players just got hold of the balls and booted them over the roof. Ended up in there. But the guy that actually got me into football when I was at Watford was called Dave Butler. And he was a physio at Watford. And he then left Watford to become a physio at QPR with Terry Venables.
Yeah, Butler, yeah. He rings a bell, Dave Butler, yeah, that's right, yeah.
Very good friend of mine. He's right back for Watford. And he actually he was the England physio with Terry when Terry took over England.
Right.
But there was a lot of rivalry between Taylor and QPR and Terry Venables back in them days.
Right. I didn't know that.
Yeah, lots.
Tell you what though, Nigel, you remember Watford? Do you remember playing at Watford at Vicarage Road back in them days? Do you remember them big, hairy German Shepherd dogs? The old Bill used to parade round the side of the pitch. They was always there, weren't they? Do you remember that as a player?
Yeah. Yeah. I'll tell you what, that QPR had a player called Wayne Faraday. Oh
yes,
my
mate.
God. He could catch pigeons. I could.
He was super fast winger, wasn't he? Yeah.
He's probably the only person that could catch the balls when they went on a synthetic pitch. You know, because if you didn't play balls to feet on that, the ball just went away from you.
That was shocking for the away team. It was very bouncy, that pitch, wasn't it? And funnily enough,
did you wear tracksuit bottoms, Nigel, on it?
Pardon?
Did you wear tracksuit bottoms under your shorts when you played on there?
No, we had the old Pimpleys, but they didn't really do you any good. I mean, these days with the pitches, synthetic pitches, you can get away with a rubber stud. Like we was allowed. I think we was allowed to train for a couple of days on the pitch. That was the agreement that QPR and Luton had with the other sides, that they'd allow you to train on the pitch for a couple of days prior to the game. But I couldn't believe how quick Faraday was.
Oh yeah,
you could have seen him in the Olympics.
Yeah, he was a sprinter, all right, wasn't he? Very good.
Yeah,
he was. Yeah,
but it was like playing in the Subbuteo ground at QPR, wasn't it? It's like...
I mean, it's still exactly the same as it is now. Yeah. It's the same now as it ever was in the 80s.
Yeah.
I love going to QPR. I think it's a great ground.
Great atmosphere in there when it gets going, like, you know.
Yeah, just where it is, right in the middle of like the estate and all the surround. I think it's a proper old school ground, isn't it? As long as you ain't stuck behind one of the stanchion posts, you can't see fuck all.
Yeah, some of them, the views can be a bit shite up there in some of the areas. Like, you're better off to get them seats these days. Sit where you can't see the game, innit?
So, sorry, where were you watching the Bristol Rovers game Saturday?
Well, unfortunately, I bought tickets for an all-dayer down at the Snig on the right on the River Mersey, the Absolute Stone Roses, and I bought tickets for it last year for the wife's birthday, and it got cancelled because of COVID, and it's this Saturday starting at 1. So I'll be watching it in the pub garden on the edge of the River Mersey on Spike Island, practically watching Rovers on my phone. That's the best I can manage.
Who QPR got the weekend, Dave?
Our last game, Swansea away, Saturday. Yeah, I don't hope for much of there. That's another 3-point giveaway, isn't it?
Yeah.
Someone for Swansea. I don't know. We might go out there and relax, thinking, well, it's all over now. Hopefully, they might relax and get kind of a nice send off for old Warburton or whatever.
I don't know. I give something back to the fans who've probably followed them all around the country all year as well. You think?
Oh God, the diehards, they're there. They'll all be there on for the weekend as well. Yeah, they're long-suffering fans, isn't it? Unfortunately, fair play to them. We're open to Watford Saturday, so bit sweet. I mean, we got Roy Hodgson's his last game.
Or I think he's finishing this season. But to see if we send him down, I'd be gutted for Roy. But I must admit, Palace and Watford fans have got a bit of a thing the last few years. We seem to just date each other. So it's going to be getting quite a bit of stick to send them down. So, but yeah, no, we got them. So,
are they relegated, Watford? Yeah, are they actually relegated yet? Or not?
They will be after Saturday.
So basically, they're going to hate you even more after Saturday.
I don't mind Watford. I don't hate anyone, to be honest. I don't.
How can you hate Watford, eh?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Well, I don't.
not with Nigel being on here. I don't hate him.
Anyway, listen, lads, I've got to go. Right, so
yeah, well, I think we're going to wrap it up.
Yeah, we're going to wrap up anyway.
It's been another good show.
Yeah, thanks, Nigel. Cheers, Dave. Thanks for coming on, mate.
I'll catch you in the week.
Yeah. Sorry about the tech issue at the beginning.
That's all right.
Nice meeting you, Dave.
Probably better off without me.
No. All right, cheers, everyone, and we'll be back on next Thursday, same time, same place, 7:30.
All the best, lads. All the best.
See ya.
Bye.
See you later.